Greetings Internet, I'm your host AVCF and welcome to the Loading Time Game channel. You knew this was coming, isn't it? After all, higher the chances that a Brazilian would be a soccer fan, which is my case by the way. But besides that, the sports games are present in the video games since the beginning in the form of titles such as the Tennis for Two, the groundbreaking Pong, and talking about the soccer side of things, the soccer games are present in the video games since the old days of the Atari 2600, in titles such as Pela Soccer, for example. Fast forward to the 90s, more precisely 1995, a remarkable title, especially for Brazilian fans, myself included, was launched. It was International Superstar Soccer Deluxe.
International Superstar Soccer Deluxe.
What a nostalgia trip for a soccer fan. It's easy to know why. Being an updated version from the already excellent International Superstar Soccer launched on the prior year, Deluxe presented very smooth arcade-style gameplay, vibrant and detailed graphics, and very well executed soundtrack, which included even and very impressive quasi-narration.
He shoots. Yes. Goal! Goal!
All in all, International Superstar Soccer Deluxe is a complete package in terms of a football sim game, with lots of options for team formation, strategies, man marking, dribbles and plays. It's a very well made game for good reasons and everybody knows it. But the thing is that contrary to the belief of many, the series didn't start on the SNES, but on the NES title Konami Hyper Soccer. Launched as an PAL region exclusive in 1992 when the SNES was already on the market, Hyper Soccer ended under the radar of lots of players of the rest of the world, even in the continental soccer fandom like Brazil, which always received games of the North American region. As you can see, everything here is pretty straightforward and very primitive. There's only one tournament mode, a versus against other player or the CPU, a CPU versus CPU demonstrative match, and the penalty shootout mode. There are 24 teams to choose, with little stats differences among them. One curiosity though is that the game lets the player to distribute some points to fill the team's status, just like an RPG. You can also choose the team formation, but I felt that it didn't affect the actual gameplay. As the match starts, the heads-up display's absence is the first thing that we can notice. A weird decision, since the player can only know the match score when he or she marks or suffers a goal. Also, there's no way to know the time progression. Each period lasts 5 minutes, by the way, during almost the whole game, except at the very end when an alarm sound starts to play. Well, the gameplay is the football barebones, one button for pass and another for long pass, all manual and very precise. Although the players have a good size by NES standards, they are oddly animated, move stiffly, and are somewhat slow. Another issue that occurs frequently during the matches is the disappearance of some of the players from both teams due to the NES limitation in the number of sprites displayed on screen, the famous flicker, which makes the long pass an exercise of pure testing. So the best way to reach the opponent's goal is running for it with the first player in your control, maybe with 1 or 2 short passes along the way. Considering that the matches lack any rules, the Konami Hyper Soccer overall experience is just too simplistic and aged poorly. On the other hand though, it's amusing to see that the penalty mode is very akin to the International Superstar Soccer 16-bit counterpart, and it even works fairly well. But our story doesn't end here. Although the common sense indicates that the natural sequence of the series is the N64 International Superstar Soccer 64, with its incredible 3D gameplay, the fact is that the series still receives a direct sequence of the SNES game in the form of the International Superstar Soccer for Game Boy Advance. Launched in 2001, only just some months after the GBA's release, ISSS again was an European exclusive title, and it probably had a limited run. At first glance, we can notice that this is a rushed game, as the World League and scenario modes were cut. Also, the menu's music is a shortened version from the N64 International Superstar Soccer 98 menu. Just listen. The rest is the same SNES stuff in portable mode, the same options, tactical adjustments, 4 teams available, and the only new thing is the game's narration. The in-game sprites are the same from the SNES game, and the camera angle is zoomed in comparison with the original version. The game mechanics remains the same too, with just a slight variation in game speed, which may be the emulator, not sure. All in all, it's the 16-bit experience in portable form, and I think that it deserves at least a try, even if it's by curiosity. If 16-bit soccer is your thing, the GBA version still holds it, and remains playable. The portable console even received another soccer title, International Superstar Soccer Advance, but it's a completely different game.
We're underway. Play on, says the referee.
And that's it, my friends. Just to finish things up here on a high note, I will show you what would be one of the first instances of a maybe South American home hacking. Ladies and gentlemen, Campeonato Brasileño 96.
Futebol Brasileiro 96.
Oh boy, it's so terrible it's good. To start, we have a bizarre blend between Spanish and Portuguese, or Portuñol as we say here. Also, the available teams are an odd mix between completely irrelevant clubs with traditional ones being displayed in bizarre colored jerseys. Just imagine, for example, an NFL game with a New England Patriots in green or yellow jerseys. Or maybe an NHL title with a blue Calgary Flames. Why not? The gameplay wasn't altered at least, but this version's real charm is its inexplicable Portuñol narration. And that's all for today, folks. Thanks for the audience, until the next time, and goodbye.
You win!